So coming back with the completion of the song, if you were here tonight. Um, let's see. So we'll always be 1-to-1 in love. God has given and filled your heart with the same love that He's given your God ordained spouse for you. At the beginning of the last video, I talked about how these men coming into the industries they were called to walk in, they were, when they first started looking for love in those industries, they could not find somebody that matched up to what it was that they were truly seeking to find in these relationships, because it was not there, because the God within them could not match with the spirits on the women that were there. It was a destructive spirit. It was either I want you for your money or I want to drain you for what you got. But I'm not here for you. And they sensed that. So either they kept going around in circles. I keep being reminded of the chess game, that when you're playing a game of chess, the king is the most powerful piece on the board. And when you operate as the king piece, you can take all the other players off the board. But what's going to happen is, if you don't checkmate or check the king on the opposite team, y'all gonna get to a point where y'all gonna end up face to face, and the only thing that's gonna be left is a draw for the both of y'all. And that's what was happening. They kept ending up at a draw scenario with whoever it was they were with, who was the partner in their life at the time. They would go through the motions and still end up at a draw, still end up at a loss, and have to go back through the same cycle, either with the same person. This is like when your game is reset and you go back to the beginning and have to start the same game over. Or they would find somebody new and still end up at a draw, because they were finding that they were ending up in the same scenario over and over again. And after doing that a few times, they're like, well, obviously I can't seem to get what I think that I thought I was going to get out of this relationship. They became accustomed to it and just let the dysfunction stay there. This is how they ended up keep going around the same cycle with the same person over and over and over again. Because they're like, well, at least I'm doing it with the same person. I ain't got to worry about, because we used to each other. And don't we do this all the time? You get comfortable with the dysfunction that you're in. And say, well, at least I know this dysfunction. I don't need to go to somebody else and find out new dysfunction and hurt myself with somebody else. At least I understand this dysfunction. I can either let this dysfunction remain to be this dysfunction, or just, because let's truth be told, some of these men stayed in some relationships. They knew that they had a level of control in that, because of the fact, and God's opening this up to me, there was a level of control in the fact that I know you. So because I know you, you can't hurt me no more than I already know, because you're just going to keep repeating the same cycle of the same pains and the same dysfunction and the same foolishness over and over again. So I'm become mute to your foolishness. So the only thing I'm getting out of this is what I'm getting out of this. Pretty much. And God started to say, hey, what if by chance there was a potential that you could find true happiness, but you'd have to let this relationship go? And they're like, but I understand this relationship. I know this. This person can't hurt me no more than they already do, because I know this person. They can snap, they can act like a fool, they can do whatever they want to do. I already know this because I know this person. I'm over it. And God's trying to say, I know. But what if you didn't have to deal with that? What if that person I'm showing you over there wouldn't put you through all this? Would you be willing to release this to start over there? And that's what's been holding them up as well, because they're like, I don't want to start nothing new, because if I start something new, then this brand new person may start to pull bandages off and start to snatch certain painful places that I had become numb to off. And I'm not really ready to deal with that. And God said, don't worry about that. I'm going to deal with them parts. Because I don't need what you're dealing with to mess them up. Because I already worked it out in them. Which brings me to the other point that I wanted to bring up. Some of us had to go through such a long season of pruning for years. When your God-ordained spouse may have had to go through maybe 1 or 2 years of pruning. Some couple backsliding moments, all that kind of stuff. But for you, you had to go through 1, 3, 5, 7 years of training with the Lord. And you were wondering, well, God, why is it taking so long for me to get connected with that person? And God was saying, because you had a lot more healing to do than they did. They were going to release this faster than you were going to release what you went through. And the irony is the fact that they may have been going through relationships and multiple relationships and been with multiple different people, but they let go of issues a whole lot quicker than we did. So we had to go through all of our history in the past relationship and all of the pains and all of our family generational cycles and all of this stuff and the other thing. And it's that element that, yeah, they ain't got to go through all that. Because some of that stuff I took them through when I first got them. I'm just getting them from their backslidden state. So some of this stuff is one of those situations, a child that rebelled still knew the rules. They still know how to deal. It's just them making the decision to come back. Remember David? David knew what he was doing after he messed up with Bathsheba and all that type of stuff. He'd already been through the pruning and the season. He didn't have to go through all that again. Didn't mean that he didn't have to repent. Didn't mean that he didn't go through his backsliding, but it didn't take him that long to get back into place once he did backslide. He fasted for what, a week? Then he got up after the baby had died, and him and Bathsheba went back to their bed and produced another child. He didn't need all that much time. Once a man makes up his mind, he made up his mind, he knew what to do. Some of these men already knew the rules. They just needed to come back into alignment with God and to be healed from the time frame in which they backslid. Okay? So, when it came down to it, they knew what to do. So, coming 1-to-1 in love with you was them saying, okay, I'm releasing that and coming into love with you. Can you understand it? Some of us don't understand how we went through all these years and it's taken them such a short period of time to be ready to be in a relationship with us. And we sitting up there like, are they done? Are they ready? Are they complete? We don't need no half-baked man over here. Because 2 whole people make a whole. Not 2 halves. So, girl, you know how much I care. It's not the way I planned it. No, these men did not plan it this way. We did not plan it this way. But this is how God planned it. If you could only know my feelings. For us, it feels like we can't even tell what these men are feeling right now, because it's like, oh, he out here doing whatever he doing. Oh, he out here smiling. Oh, he out here what have you. While in behind closed doors, he may be sitting in bed saying to himself, Lord, if only she knew how I felt. Lord, if only they understood the way I truly feel about them in this moment. And you would know how much I do believe. God has shown them, God has given them more than enough evidence in which way that they will understand it, that they're like, okay, all right, I believe, I understand what you're saying. I'm getting these things in order. This is going to work. If you were here tonight, some of them be sitting there just going over and over in their mind what they would say to you if you were actually in front of them. Ladies, come on. Some of us have done the exact same thing. We've thought about what that conversation is going to be like with this person. Every night alone, I just wait here anticipating. They've been anticipating that first meeting with us. For the day I won't feel this pain. Because we've gotten so close to the manifestation of what God wants in our lives, it's actually become painful for them to resist being away from us. So God has allowed that to happen. And some of us, we've been seeing them, and it's like, oh, he looked like he frustrated. Oh, he looked like he's uncomfortable. Oh, what's going on, God? What's wrong with him? And God's saying, I'm allowing that pain to be there. A lot of us have been sitting there, oh, if I was there, oh, I would just try to make the pain go away and all this stuff. And God's like, stop it. I'm allowing the pain to be there, because if the pain wasn't there, they wouldn't feel like there was a fire under their behind to get to you. Let it stay. Let it stay. Because some of us have been trying to pray that pain away from, oh, Jesus, don't let the pain be there. And God's like, I need it there for a moment. I need it to be like that moment of Paul with the thorn in his side. For if it wasn't for that thorn in his side, what did God say to him? I'm not going to remove the thorn. I'm going to pray and cover you that you be able to handle it. That's what he's doing with these men. You going to handle this until I say go. But when I say go, understand that thorn going to come out if you do what I tell you to do. Because the only reason the thorn's there is because you haven't done what I said do when I told you to do it just yet. I need you to be on your toes. Please don't keep me waiting. Come to me. Some of these men desperately desire for us to come to them. It has not been given us as an instruction to go to them, because God has said no. And for some of us, because we are very bold, authoritative females, if God opened the door, we would go to him in a minute. It's like, okay. Like, you make a way. We do what we need to do. And God's like, nope, this one's on him. Either he's going to make a way for you, or he's going to come to you. But you're not going to figure it out yourself this time. Nope. You're not going to do it this time. This one's his turn. If you were here tonight, oh girl, by my side, they envision you in their life, by their side, in their life, to a capacity that They done already seen the ring. They already done seen the wedding. They done seen your children. They seen everything you seen. They seen the house, the kids, all of it. If you were with me now, girl, this bed is too big. They know. And for some of y'all know the double entendre of that bed being too big. If you were with them now, it'd be on and popping. Because for some of them, what love looks like is the intimacy in the bedroom. For me to be all alone. These men have status. I don't care what career field. They could be a real estate agent. They got status enough that they know that one smile to the right woman, they could get a woman in bed if they wanted to. Oh, I ain't even gonna say it. I'm gonna let it go. I just know that the Lord has my guy in his moment. Let's just put it that way. And Jesse done tried him a couple times, but I believe that he's remained in his strength. That he has not fallen for those cheap tricks. Don't keep me waiting, baby. But we are feeling the same way. Why are you keeping us waiting? You the one supposed to make the move. He who finds a wife. I ain't supposed to come to you. Not unless requested. Remember, Esther didn't come to... Did you see Esther come to Xerxes before requested? Even the first request to go to his bedchambers that first night by, what's his name? The eunuch. To come get her. She ain't go by herself. The only time that she went was when, given the instruction, now come. I need you to take the 3 days and then come without announcing yourself that one time. It's not our job to come. Not until we request it. If you're with me now, oh, hold me, girl, all night. Want you for myself. God has allowed you to remain in this level of isolation. I said this in another video. It should be coming up. But in it, you have to have the understanding that they want you to themselves. But they want the satisfaction of the intimacy of having you near them. But they have not had the ability to be close to you to that degree. And they want that. They have nobody else that they feel is going to meet the criteria that the Lord has given them but you. And you're going to satisfy all the needs. Not just publicly, not just privately, not just family-wise, but spiritually. And this love is strong because God has put it together. No man can put it asunder. And the way that the Lord has connected you with this person and them with you, they know it's only you. The love is too strong. And please take me home to be with you tonight. Now, if you've been in a previous relationship with this person and that person left you the house, then yeah, when that time comes, they coming home with you. But if you know that the Lord has called you to go to them or go with them, they're going to take you from where you are and take you where they are. Don't lay with them unless there's a ceremony. Be with you tonight. Make our love our light. When the time comes, y'all gonna know what to do. You are. Some of y'all, and I used to question God about this. I'm like, God, I ain't been with nobody in years. I mean, to lay down with somebody I ain't been with, and you talking about some of these weddings gonna happen so quick. I mean, some of them is gonna be in a matter of days, a couple of weeks, so on and so forth. How long does it take y'all to plan the wedding? That's how quick it's gonna be. Now, depending on what God needs of you and the level of spiritual security that he needs around you, he may call for it to be like, I need y'all to get together like right now. First date, next date, marriage. But he's going to remove that spiritual partition between y'all desire for sex, because it's been on the man. But for some of us women, it has not been on us like that. But I already noticed in the past couple of months that around my cycle, it's like, oh, God, where did this come from? I'm feeling feelings I ain't felt in a long time. And God's like, yeah, I'm allowing you to feel those feelings because you're going to need to be custom with those feelings, because guess what? When your spouse shows up, you got to be ready for all that. Do just what you feel. Please don't be a tease. When the time comes, they want you to have an intimacy with them. And some of our guys enjoy having women that have been more in control of the intimacy. That's probably another reason why I ain't let go of the other one before, because they liked that the way that those women took control in the bedroom. For some of us, in our previous relationships, we used to do that too. But since coming to God, it's like, we don't want to have all that control like that. And God's like, this is going to be an intimacy between the both of you. You both going to enjoy each other's presence and company in that moment when it comes. Girl, I love you more. You're the one that I adore. Oh, girl, don't leave me lonely, cold, by myself, all alone tonight. When your time comes, the Lord is going to open the door for it all. The last note I want to give y'all is that I've been telling y'all, and I did two shorts where I mentioned the bells. The Lord showed me Lady Jeremiah's video, bells ringing. Then he showed me my dad's phone, an app keeps going off with bells ring. Then I was reminded of something like that happening with a friend of mine several years ago, that when God was talking to me about marriage and I was around her, she had a ringer on her phone that was church bells. She didn't know how it got on her phone, same way as my dad. Then he spoke this morning to me. I started hearing, every time I heard the bells, I heard sleigh bells ringing. And the song goes, sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the land, the snow is glistening. Having a sight, happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Going back over that. Sleigh bells ring. It's not the sleigh bells, it's the church bells. Are you listening? Are you understanding that I'm bringing this confirmation multiple ways and multiple times? Uh, in the land, you're about to cross over into your promised land. Snow is glistening. What is snow? White, purity, God. The walking in the winter wonderland. A lot of you have had dreams about Christmas related things. I saw dreams leading up to Christmas talking about gifts. I saw an elf with a bunch of gifts standing in my living room. I was like, Lord, what the heck does that mean? Christmas came and went. I saw people gathered on a cruise together that was family, and I saw invitations, but all the invitations looked like Christmas invitations. So I'm sitting up there like, what does this mean? And then Deani Neves did the video talking about Christmas in springtime. So with that being said, I still ended up, another song God gave me was Tina Marie, and she was talking about if our love was bells or something like that. And I was like, God, all these bell confirmations, it's about to go down. These men are coming. It's the sound. The bell is the sound of warning. They're en route. It's coming to pass. Get ready. Okay? It's about to happen. And that's all I had to say. Until next time, peace out.